Welcome to 20-inch City. This is a floating island battleship. I tried making a round ship in NavalArt. Didn't go that well, but I eventually ended up with this peculiar battleship. She is sporting 18 20-inch guns. In order to deal with more modern flying threats, she also has a Sea Sparrow launcher or two per side, with a, well, relatively tiny Sea Whiz battery, defending anything against missiles that get through any of the missile defenses. This ship is not fast. She is dead slow. She's not very maneuverable, although for something this big, she actually turns surprisingly well. And now we're going to put her to the test. I think it only makes sense that our first contestant is the Tria. Yes, I said Tria, not Iowa, because this is a ship that I threw together in the previous video. The Tria is a triple catamaran, or rather a trimaran Iowa. She has 318,000 hit points. I, however, have I had 951,000 hit points. I no longer have that, and I have now 940,000. Tria starts out with about 318,000, although if my 20-inch shells have anything to say about it, that might not be the case for very long. Tria is extremely slow, much like myself. There goes a actual turret destruction. Of course, the floating city, the 20-inch city that I have over here, it's got all these turrets on the back, and unfortunately, the way that the game is right now, this is NavalArt if you haven't ever heard of it, the way that the game is now, you don't actually get the opportunity to put guns on auto-control, if you will, and then have the AI target something different with them. Sadly, that does not work. So I'm just going to have to try and fire as many of these guns as possible. And that means... Oh. Are we flooding? Maybe the Tria did a bit more damage than I was hoping for. Trying to find a good amount of armor balance to keep this thing afloat is tricky. Because I want to both be able to deal with some incoming shells and have the buoyancy. Doing both at the same time is proving challenging, really. Considering that I have to find the right mix. And I think I don't have it. So, I guess the first round goes to the Tria, because she's perfectly capable of dealing damage without immediately sinking, which is more than the city can say. So we're going to have to adjust the armor a bit. Reduce the armor will make me more vulnerable, but potentially also allow me to actually stay afloat far enough, or long enough, to be able to deal some damage. Round 2. This time, less armor on the ship. So, potentially more buoyancy, and unfortunately, of course, that comes at the expense of hit points. The Tria did not get any adjustments. Let's load the armor piercing and start peppering, well, all of these holes with the 20-inchers. I happen to know that Tria is very unmaneuverable. She is not particularly quick, because she too is trying to displace a lot of tonnage, although not nearly as much as the floating city that I have, and is not particularly good when it comes to horsepower to weight ratio. I already have taken about 50,000 points of damage. This AI is a pretty good shot. Pretty good shot. I could try cycling through more of the guns by just turning the ship constantly. Maybe that's going to work. And of course, when it actually comes to building an efficient design, this ship... Well, I would not call this a very efficient design. It might look very intimidating, but of course, if most of your firepower is completely unable to actually do anything, then yeah... It's not that good of a ship. Also, with trying to find this balancing act between armor and buoyancy, and seemingly having potentially taken off too much armor, the ship is now very much at the mercy over here of the Tria. And, well, I did take out some of the turrets of the trio. Maybe I still have a chance. Maybe I still have a chance. Oh, hit. Over penetration, even. Right. Destroyed the rangefinder. Maybe that's going to help a little bit. I have been able to hit, oh, not bad, 34% of my shells. So I've had a lot worse than that. That was a pretty good hit. AA gun destroyed. Yeah, great. It's not the AA guns of the trio that I currently fear. That's not really the thing that I feel I should be worried about. Oh, Citadel, 28,000. That's the stuff. Tria definitely trying to change her course. She does appear to be a little lower in the water than I remember her being. Yep. Modules are getting destroyed. Citadel here and there. Come on. She's down to 170. I know it's definitely possible to sink the Tria because I've done it. I just did it with anti-ship missiles back in the day. Considering that she's a bit heavier than she used to be and seemingly lower in the water. Yeah, she's sinking. She is sinking. Look at that. She has that sinking feeling. There she goes. You don't necessarily have to sink or kill the whole ship, like health-wise. Just make sure that it doesn't have any buoyancy left. That really is the biggest way, or at least the fastest way to kill one of these behemoths. Sink the ship. Don't necessarily eliminate all the hit points. But until she silences her guns, she's still a fair target. So we're going to add a bit more 20-inch misery to this ship. Yes, I think she's going full submarine mode. Oh, she got a good pen on me there. She destroyed an engine. That is unfortunate. There's a decent pen. She's down to 70. Neutralized a module down to 60. Come on. Keep her alive a little longer. Doesn't have to be that much longer. Just outlast your enemy. Just outlast it. That is all that I'm asking you to do. Ow. Something else that can pretty easily kill my ship probably is a few torpedoes. Because I am doing a whole 7 knots. Which is basically as quick as some sailboats. If you're not looking into the serious sports sailboats. The serious racing ones. Come on. Yeah, I think we'll be able to take her down. So far she needs any help. She's definitely done a number on me though. I'm down to 243,000 hit points. Out of the original 774,000. I am in trouble. Though she is flooded. Though she's flooded, she's still firing. Most of those guns are still serviceable. Don't ask me how. Come on, you can't have a whole lot left. 14,000. I'm down to 180. Any gun, any gun, any gun. Come on. Any gun. Come on. She might actually be a more difficult target to hit, considering she's half flooded. She's actually more difficult to hit. Ow! Ow! Elevator neutralized. I think some of my guns aren't exactly in working order anymore. Yes, 9,000. Yes, got her. Well, that took me a while. But she's finally down. She is finally down. Okay. So we've seen what happens when I encounter, let's say, something more or less of my own caliber. What happens if I encounter a missile-heavy threat? Let's move on to something like that. Let's see if the ship can defeat Gnarly Burke. You might go, well, yeah, duh. This thing is far, far easier to kill. Yes and no. It might be far easier to kill. However, it does come with missiles. And I have my own anti-ship and... Or, not anti-ship, I have my own anti-air missiles. Okay. That's what happens when 20-inch high explosive hits a fairly modern warship. Most of her systems are going to get disabled. And as such, I'm surprised she's even launching missiles at this point. My own missiles are working hard to intercept the target. She's still firing with her 5-incher? Oh, but she seems to be in a really bad way. What are you doing? What are you doing? This ship seems to have just decided to ignore any kind of, I don't know, physics. And it's just kind of bobbing and weaving. In reverse, I think. And she's still firing missiles at me. Thankfully, most of those are getting intercepted, and I think only the 5-inch shells are actually punching through. There she goes. Okay, so one early Burke, not that hard. What if we add a bunch more? My weapon of destruction this time around is this modified Ticonderoga. She only has one 5-inch gun, but she also comes with a couple of P500 basalts, and on the stern she has a very sizable amount of Tomahawk cruise missiles. If I give this ship to the AI, it's most likely going to launch these things one by one by one. That's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to rapidly click these missiles to launch, fire a whole slew of them, and see if I can also blend in a couple of basalts, making sure that the real hitters are ideally not intercepted, while the Tomahawks, believe it or not, are more of a distraction. I know that my longevity probably isn't very good, so I'm going to lock the target and immediately start popping the missiles, starting with the Tomahawks. I need to have these guys all getting deployed, because I need to be able to then blend in a couple of basalts. I'm hoping that I can just do enough damage to go through this much armor and this much health. Of course, the 20-inch shitty is already shooting me, so yeah, a couple of 20-inch hits and I'm going to be in trouble. The missiles are, well, getting intercepted. One after the other, after the other, after the other is getting knocked down. I'm not sure if I'll ever get through this. Whoa. Even with this many launchers, I'm not sure I can do it. I think the 5-incher is proving useful. It's doing something. Maybe if you use the 5-inch gun to start sniping, maybe knocking out the enemy anti-air systems or the anti-missile systems, maybe you can do it. But it feels like this thing right now is just completely impervious. It does not seem to care that it's coming under missile attack. Well, it cares that it's coming under missile attack, I suppose. It's just not doing anything about it. More enemy anti-air missiles. Lord. So far, we've done absolutely nothing. CUS is picking up everything else. Oh, that got close. Yes? Boom. That did, not enough. And I'm fresh out of missiles. So we're gonna need something bigger. We're going to have to bring, I don't know, a different ship. If at first you don't succeed, bring more missiles. Kirov class battlecruiser, modified heavily. The game still gives me these guns on the stern, and I'm going to keep those. That might be useful in sniping some of the enemy anti-air off. The rest of the missiles, or the rest of the deck space, is mostly missile launchers. Some of these are cosmetic, so don't worry about those, but these are big missile launchers. I have a lot of harpoon missile launchers on the bow, and because they don't have to have that vertical launch animation, they can be launched immediately. I can still pitch in with a couple more basalts right from the bow. Let's see if this thing is going to be able to take down 20-inch City. The plan with this one is pretty straightforward. I have a couple of sizable 130mm guns on the stern. I'm going to use those to try and snipe some of the anti-air defenses, so that maybe the enemy ship is going to be unable to get all those guns, or at least all those missiles, shot down. The problem is, in the meanwhile, it's going to be raining death. And I don't really have a way to deal with that. So all that I can hope for is that they'll miss. If they do not miss, there is a better than average chance that they will start destroying the missile launchers that I so desperately need. There, we're getting a pen. Yep, destroy the module. There's always a way to destroy things. Of course, there's still the torpedo angle, if and so I desire. Let's go for the other one. Oh, there it comes again. Yep, pen destroyed. Well, I blew something up. If that's half their anti-air capability, that would be great. Let's send a 1 harpoon forward and see if it actually did do something. Target locked. Yeah, give me a harpoon. Let's see if there's any response from the 20-inch city. Hopefully, I can prevent getting hit. Yep, there's definitely response. So they still have capabilities of dealing with missiles. However, can they deal with as many missiles? Yeah, they shot it down. I think the one on the bow got destroyed. Like the front launcher, maybe not the stern launcher yet. One pen. All I need to hit is their anti-air. But on this brick, that's yes, that's like a speck. Okay, give me 3 of them. HE barely does anything. Go to armor piercing. At least this 20-inch city isn't fast, so it's making it pretty easy to hit. And these guns have a very nice reload. Yep, they're still shooting my missiles down. Ricochet. Pen. The good news is, it's possible to deal with this ship. It is possible to eliminate their missile launchers. The challenge is getting those hits to actually connect with the missile launcher. However, now that I've destroyed maybe 3 of them, I might be able to still overwhelm the enemy. So, now we're going to send a slew of harpoons, trying to see if that'll expend their capabilities of intercepting missiles, and then the muskets are going to get launched. So with the muskets, I'll actually be able to do the real damage. Again, a couple of harpoons for distraction. It does look great. It does look great. Now, we're getting the modules destroyed here. I want to see this from their perspective. Yep, here it comes. Radar destroyed. Still a sea was operational. Like, we're getting hits in, but this thing has so... Wow! Woohoo! That thing has so many hit points. Holy crap, we're gonna need a lot more than this. And my torpedo... No, my harpoon missile launchers are definitely getting destroyed, so I better get these muskets out the door while I still can. And as I'm closing the distance, the AI does not get as much reaction time. Also, my cruiser is apparently capable of doing 47 knots. Seems optimistic. Let's add some more guns to their problems. Yeah, she's definitely taking hit after hit after hit. Even some citadels now. There's another turret that flies off. Yes, my pretties. Sink it. 4 more muskets. Oh, that's the last of them. Right now, I'm just a destroyer with a gun. Well, a cruiser, that is, with a couple of guns. Make it happen. Sink this monster. Yeah, we're getting some decent damage in with armor piercing. That's useful. And there's the missiles. Well, we're gonna be getting it done. But that took some doing. This thing does not take very kindly to getting punished. And if you let it live long enough, it can very easily wipe you out. Oh, it's still trying to. It's still trying to. Hard to starboard. Module neutralized. Engine neutralized. Okay. Doing some damage here and there, but it's lackluster. Pen for 1,000 points of damage is not really going to add up if you look at this thing with 100,000 health. It's definitely giving me a good fight. We're getting there. We're getting there. Let's see if HE is going to be a better option. Well, maybe on their modules. Other than that, it's very useless. Back to armor piercing. Ow. It's a good thing that they haven't actually been able to hit my guns yet. Not for lack of trying, I should add. That got close. A pen for for 200 damage. Yeah. Wait, we're out of range? Okay. Well, this is awkward. I think they destroyed my rudder. Like, I can see the rudder turning, but the ship isn't changing course. And with the guns out of range, all I can do now is very bravely run away. At 47 knots, to be sure. Yeah, I guess we'll call this one a draw. The floating city is still there. She's looked better, but she's still there. Oh, she's still shooting too. Right. Well, we'll call this one a draw. I will upload the floating city to the Steam Workshop in case you want to try and either control it yourself, so far as there's much to control, or if you want to try and sink her yourself. Link down below in the description. Hope you guys enjoyed this weird little fight. Let me know what your thoughts are on other challenges that I can take on, and I'll see you soon for more.